circle. So if you can imagine all of us standing in a circle and the ancestors coming in from behind, supporting us, and calling in your spirit guides, angels, whatever you'd like to call in as a resource for yourself. And then just maybe silently state an intention of what it is that you would like to receive by being here in the space. It could be really simple. All right. So now go ahead and open your eyes. And now we'll dive in. So we're going to do some mini constellations. We're going to start with Mari. Oh, Callie, as far as training, I would recommend Yildiz Seti personally. I appreciated Carolyn's training, but there was a lot of gaps in it. So I will drop Yildiz's name here for anyone that's interested in training. You can look her up on Google. All right, so Mari, yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hi.
welcome. Happy birthday.
Thank you. This is a great present for me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I didn't quite make it right at 3, so I tuned in as much as I could, and I was just kind of frazzled coming in, but I hope that was enough.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, so I've been struggling for a while, for like a couple of years with finances. My family has been struggling. Um, and I just, I've done a lot of inner work around, um, trying to get to the root of, any money blocks that I might have. And I'm just interested in, clearing out anything that I might have missed. um, I guess that's my purpose for being here today. Just seeing what, if anything comes up, if I get any insights,
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
that's great. Awesome. Yeah, beautiful. And thank you for having the courage to say, pick me. And
Yeah.
stepping forward. It's whoa, my chair just my
Oh
chair
no.
just gave out from under me. Okay, I just lost 5 inches. Okay, here we go. Um, so what I'd like to just state for everyone here, especially for those that are new, um, is that just by being here in the space, you're all receiving something. By listening to other people's constellations, by representing, you will more than likely gain insights into this topic according to towards your own life. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. And I just really invite everyone as we're moving forward to just really stay present and stay connected with your body and notice what comes up as you watch things unfold. So Mari, so anybody here that does not want to represent or do any kind of representing, um, and by the way, representing just means that you may be chosen to stand in as a particular element or person. So Mari's going to choose someone to stand in as herself, as someone as money, someone to be what's in the way, we'll just bring in some elements here. And if you don't want to participate as that, because either it's your first time, you're a little nervous, you don't want to be on camera, just go ahead and turn off your camera, and that'll ensure that you won't be chosen. And as Mari is asking people to participate, you're welcome to decline. You don't have to accept the invite. So, okay. So, Mari, looking at everyone here, I'd like you to choose someone to stand in as yourself.
It's so interesting. Stand in as myself.
And just trust your heart, don't overthink it. Just who do you feel drawn to?
Janice. I can't really see your last name.
Anis Balasan?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to rename you as Mari. Mari Rep. Great. Now let's choose someone to stand in as money.
Stephanie Augustin.
So funny. I had a feeling. Stephanie, are you willing?
Yes.
Okay. I think
Just because I was just
it's
that background just
the
popped.
background. I know. All right. Money. Great. And then let's choose someone to represent what's standing in the way.
Ah.
The block.
Jessica Garrick. Did I say that right?
Garlic. Yeah.
Garlic.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'll just type it in as money block. Okay, so for now, if the rest of you could turn off your cameras, that way I can have a clear view of who's actually representing here. Thank you so much. And those of you that are standing in as representatives, if it helps to stand up so you can feel more embodied in the role, feel free to stand up. Just make sure I can still see you. Otherwise, you're free to stay seated. And so as you're standing in as these roles, just take a moment to feel your body. You can close your eyes if you'd like, if that helps. I also invite you to also open your eyes at some point and just notice what you feel drawn to, maybe in the room around you. That's also information. And whenever you're ready to speak, just raise your hand if you have something that's coming through. Yeah, Mari's rep.
So before she chose me, I started feeling like tension in my neck and anxiety in my tummy. It's like lower. Things I'm drawn to, actually, I had my cat on me and this bottle.
The water, you're drawn to the water.
Mhm.
Huh.
But what stays with me, what is very present, is the anxiety.
Okay. All right. Yeah, money block.
So, yeah, just feeling into my like solar plexus, feeling that anxiety, but feeling it more in kind of upper, yeah, solar plexus rather than down below. And also just like immediately took my arm over that space. So feeling, yeah, I'm feeling a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear showing up in my body, and uh, my right arm feeling quite itchy and just kind of uncomfortable in my body.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's almost a sense of like wanting to find a place to hide in my room, um, but not really knowing where to go. Like, yeah, there's a bit of confusion as to where I want to go. That's an agitation in my physical body. Just I'm standing still, but there's a lot of restlessness. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Money, what's happening there?
So I'm feeling it in my heart, and it feels like there's like a block, and then it also feels like there's like some pulling, and also in the solar plexus, um, just like the anxiety, and it kind of feels like I don't know if it's like it's not like allowing it to come in, like blocking it, or and almost like a little bit of um I feel like it has to do with heartbreak.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, money block.
Yeah, so as I'm just like looking over Annie, I feel like this purple kind of background feels kind of scary for me. Like it's like pulling me in, but it's like it's there's a lot of fear coming up around like looking at that the purple background and then that white kind of vortex in the middle.
Do you want me to change it?
No,
No, that's
it's
just
fine. It's just
that's yeah,
how this
I
is
know.
that's really yeah. I mean, the color kind of stands out to me, and it's like drawing my attention, but I'm feeling a lot of fear around that like vortex pulling me in. Um, and then like as I'm feeling that, like I'm feeling a lot of this like sadness coming up for me. Um, I feel quite alone. I feel scared of being alone. Like that's the feeling that really comes to me, and I'm feeling a lot of sadness around that.
okay.
I sense my parents around. I sense my mom. I sense my dad, but like there's something around mom and dad. But
Mhm.
yeah, feeling really, really scared and alone.
Okay.
Like I'm going back to feeling like a little girl, feeling scared and alone.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, Mari's rep.
When money block talks, I feel very unstable on my feet. I have pain in my back, my bended middle back, and somehow my cat really wants my attention. I don't know if that makes any difference, but I don't know whether it's a distraction or, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so just out of curiosity, whoever would like to be chosen to be mom and dad, go ahead and turn on your cameras. And Mari can choose someone to be mom and someone to be dad.
Um, I guess I'll go with Anna. Is it Anna? Gosh,
Is it
my eyes say it. Schmidt?
Anya?
Yeah, it's Anya.
Anya. Anya. Hi. If you would be mom
Okay,
and Silver, is it? Would if you would be dad?
great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. And the rest can go ahead and turn off their cameras again. And so mom and dad stepping into the role. And, Mari's wrap, money block. Feel free to look at each screen and notice where you're drawn to or what comes up when you're looking at these other individuals, these fields. Yeah, money block.
Yeah, so really kind of drawn to dad or father and just kind of like a mysterious feeling, like not very present to me. Um, like almost like a ghost, like if I could put it to like a metaphor of like feeling like a ghost in my life.
Wow.
That's the yeah, the feeling I have.
Mhm.
And I'm drawn to like I'm really drawn to paying attention to dad. Um, yeah, like there's something else coming up, but I'm not exactly sure what that is. There's a sense of like dad paying attention to a lot of things outside of the family, outside of his family role. Um, maybe it's his work or um, yeah, that's really what's coming up now.
Yeah, Mari herself, you're nodding your head, so this is resonating, I'm assuming. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
My
Mari,
dad,
was your dad an entrepreneur or a spiritual
no,
teacher?
no, he was
Mm.
just not present in my life at all. Like my parents divorced when they were three, when I was three, and I saw him here and there throughout my childhood. I mean, I think like maybe every other weekend, but I have very few memories with him. And then when I was 9, he disappeared completely, and I reconnected with him eventually, and he passed away a couple of years ago. But we just never had a relationship. So I was like,
Yeah.
that was like crazy that you were saying that. I was like, wow, it's yep, he was a ghost in my life. So interesting.
What's happening with mom?
I am very focused on dad, and I feel a lot of sadness and resentment towards dad, and I really just want to cry. And I'm mindful of money, and I sort of kind of glance at it, but it feels out of reach. It just feels so foreign and not accessible to me, but I am very intrigued by it. However, my emotions are mostly consumed by father and by dad and resentment towards him.
And dad, what's happening there?
I feel very strong. I feel kind of strict. Um, my body's quite tense. So I'm very erect. I'm very purposeful. I wouldn't say angry, but kind of serious. A bit grumpy.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, okay, what do you want?
Mari's rep, what happens for you when mom and dad come into the space?
I feel very small. I have this doing this constantly, and I'm very uncomfortable. I'm very unstable. I was drawn to mom when she came in, but then when dad started doing, I don't know, switching on the lights, going at the back, he got my attention. And I feel intimidated by him. In fact, even talking like about him, I take a step back and my focus is everywhere except for money.
Mm. Mm.
And there is something about mom, but when that comes in the way, he takes all the attention. So mom now feels further away.
Mom?
When Marie's rep started speaking, I felt my legs shaking, like they were literally wiggly and felt like jello. And I felt a lot of sadness and a slight irritation with dad.
Mhm. And what happens for dad when dad looks at money? I'm curious. And now we'll come back to money block.
Um, I kind of have a respect for money. It's quite big. It looks big, solid. It's something serious. I can't really say more than that.
Yeah, money block. What were you going to say?
Yeah, the feeling I had when mum and dad came into the space was very much kind of this pull towards something about the church. And when dad said strict, like that word really feels quite big in the space, like very conservative, kind of ruled by stories or conditioning of the church. And that feels really strong for me in this space. It's like there's some religious kind of flavor. I can't really put it. That's just what's um yeah.
Mhm. Okay. All right. So as you can see, there's, Mari's rep with her parents in the room can't even look at money. So going deeper into this constellation, we would dive deeper into mom and why is she unable to stand practically, and the fact that dad was not in her life is very significant because of the divine masculine absolutely being absent. And since money block is talking about religion moving forward, I would bring in the church or religion itself to see what was maybe formulated in the ancestry around, okay, what were the beliefs around money here. um, Anything that money wants to say before we just kind of tie this up right here?
So when she said the church, the first thing that came to me was like money is the root of all evil. And when I was looking at everyone, everything just looked like really like kind of chaotic, disorganized. Everybody's focused on everything but money, and they're not like in the flow with it. And yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, mom, we'll do last words and then we'll wrap up here and we'll do another one.
I sort of feel like I want to hide from the money. I feel like I don't want it to see me, or maybe I'm afraid it's going to corrupt me or it's not good for me. So my arms being crossed is a way to kind of keep it at distance, maybe, so it doesn't turn me into a bad person.
All right, Mari or Money Block or Dad, any last statements you want to share before we close? Yeah, Mari's rep.
When that speaks, I feel a lot of pain in my right leg, especially. And I feel it's something that goes beyond him. It's um, it's it's coming from like ancestors. And when mom speaks, it's the pain is again in the belly. But I feel that what's the word I want? I mirror her. I do what she does, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Mhm. Great. Okay. All right. Everyone, I just ask you to just give back these roles to Mari herself. And you can, let's just, yeah, with intention, just you can say out loud or silently, just give them back. Mari, you can take them back as yours. And if everyone could rename themselves, the way to do that is just click on the three dots in the upper right hand corner of your window there and put your put your name back. Mari, how did that resonate? Did that all feel true? Very accurate.
Um, Pretty much, yeah. Especially pretty much everything Money Block was saying. I was like, wow, yep. Like the whole time. But I mean, a lot of it, even from the very beginning, like I took some notes and I just when people would say like Janice was saying, that she immediately that she felt intense anxiety and like I could feel it. I mean, I'm not normally I don't consider myself to be incredibly anxious, but I am an overthinker. So I shouldn't say I am. I'm a recovering overthinker. Trying not to be as much anymore. But so I tend to be very in my head. And so when she said that, I was like, ooh, like I felt that kind of like in my belly, like sacral area. And I was really feeling a lot of like just when different people were speaking, I was like feeling these like rushes in my body. And I was like, just wow, it was amazing. Um, I wish we could go further, but
Yeah, no, I hear you. So, and one thing I want to say is like at the end of this, I will guide everyone through a meditation, just so you don't feel like you're activated and like, oh my gosh, because it is bringing up a lot of stuff. And we'll be guided through a meditation to give back, give back what it doesn't belong to you, to whomever these blocks are coming from. So just know that.
okay. Thank you. Thank you all. That was a beautiful experience.
All right. Wonderful. Okay, so everyone can turn their videos back on. And Janice, you're raising your hand? Hmm.
To share something just in case it holds any water. I told you like my cat wanted my attention. And because I was on the roll, I just covered the chair, so I covered her. So what came to me now, because now that I came and I could hold her, she left. So it felt like maybe a distraction that I actually also was hiding. I just wanted to share this just in case.
Hmm. Thank you, Janice. All right. Wonderful. Okay, who would like to receive next? Tomek. Okay. Tomek, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself. All right. So, so share with us like really briefly, what is the desire? What is it that you want to uncover as far as when it comes to money specifically?
Maybe kind of obvious, uncover what I can't see, what I'm resisting to. Like my first experience with money was my dad gave me some money when I was 6, and I gave some money, like I shared some of what he gave me to one of my um, friends, and then he took them back because I gave some away. Like, so I felt like, and also I know my um, I'm not a good receiver, or there's a blockage with receiving because of that. Like, I always felt, and I was also told that I don't deserve, I'm not allowed, like I'm someone else, like my sister, so I was left out. So I would love to clear the blockage or blockages, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Okay, great. I just want to mention to Callie, I can't see you on the screen. Does anybody know how to access everyone's video here? Anybody know? It's like I only see a certain number but I see there's obviously more. If anybody knows and can help me technologically with
I
this,
think
that'd be
have a
helpful.
go at looking on the participants list. If you click the up arrow, it
Yeah.
may be that you find her name listed, and then you might have the power to click
Oh, there
invite
we go.
participant to switch video.
Yes, let's see. There we go. Thank you. Got it. Phew. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, great. So Tomek, um, so choose someone to stand in as yourself.
Laura, can you represent my side, please?
Okay. And then choose someone to be money.
Can you do it? Because I'm feeling anxious about it.
Who's feeling moved to stand in as money? Raise your hand. Barb? Okay,
Thank you. I
great.
really got anxious.
Yeah.
My brain.
Choose someone to stand in as father.
Jessica, can you represent my father, please?
My father?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Someone to represent mother.
Kaylee, can you represent my mom, please?
Callie? Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else that you think needs to be in this constellation?
Uh,
Or, yeah.
I don't know. I just got blank brain and like can think and feeling
Okay.
very small.
Let's do the block, what's standing in the way. Choose someone to stand for that.
Anya, can you represent the block on the way, please?
All right.
Happy to.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so everyone can turn off their screens or their videos and just the participants. So Mari, if you could turn off yours, thank you. Is everyone here? Tomic's rep, mother, father, money, money block. Great. So again, if you would like to stand, you can stand. It helps. And whoever's ready to speak, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, Money.
So as soon as I came in, I was all excited and like I'm like, woo, here I am, here I am, here I am. And then as soon as I started settling in, as you can tell, my dog has decided to be part of the constellation and now totally distracting me. I'm totally distracted. She's just all over me, which she ignores me all the time, but now she's with me. And she's just like, she's like blocking me. Like I can't see the screen. I keep moving. She's in the way. So I'm totally distracted by my puppy who's, yeah. So, but before that, I was like, all like, here I am. Like I wanted to kind of get everybody's attention. Like nobody sees me. So here I am, but now I'm distracted.
So I'll just say, yeah, it's so fascinating when animals come into the constellation. It happens all the time. My cat, who I've shut the door, so I don't have any animals, but they often reveal something definitely that's in the field. Thank you. Yeah, Father.
So yeah, I'm immediately drawn to Tomek, representative, and just like it's very like he's out in the distance. He's very blurry. I feel very distant to Tomek. I can see a shape, but I can't see the features of Tomek. Yeah.
Okay. So, but do you feel
That's
drawn to him to try to see him? Is that?
Yeah, that's what's kind of taking my attention is this. I'm like very much drawn into just that distance. Like I'm aware of money blocks swaying from side to side. But I'm drawn to Tomek being so far in the distance. A little invisible. Like yeah, so that's the word that comes.
Thank you. Who else is ready to share what's going on? Maybe money block? Yeah, what's happening there?
My chest feels extremely heavy, like I can hardly breathe. I don't want to look at anything or anyone. It just feels like darkness, and it's very overwhelming. And I knew it was me before I was chosen. I knew it was me. And I don't want anything to do with anyone. I just want to be away from all of this. It hurts too much.
Okay. If the role ever gets too much, just if you can with your intention, you can try and tone it down. Just, just know that if suddenly you're feeling like, whoa, this is too much for me to experience right now, you can choose to tune it down just a little bit. All right. Yeah, Mother.
I'm feeling very like action oriented. Like right now, I want to say to Tomek's rep, like, come closer because we can't see you and you're important here. And to Money Block, I'm like, hey, like, it's you're not a victim. Like, I want to tell you, like, also just like I'm so happy you took your hands off your eyes because it feels like good, like maybe you can see more now, like before you were just looking at blackness, and I'm like, thank you for actually showing your eyes. So if that was a brave step for you, then like I'm really happy, and I just want to say thank you. And also now I see Tomek's rep is coming closer. That makes me feel good. I see though that, you know, the eyes are still blocked. So I'm like, oh man, like, you know, I want to support you and tell you that you're okay. Um, yeah. And father, I'm like, I could care less about him, which is interesting because supposedly you're my husband, but I'm like, I really don't even care that you're here. Um, money, I'm like, feel pretty good. She feels like actually like she could be my sister. Like we could hang out and like feel like, I don't know, I feel like I have like a good relationship with her. I'm happy she's here.
Okay. Tomek's rep.
Father came in, I had to keep moving backwards. At one point, when my mother came in, I could feel I'm on an uneven floor. Literally, I'm on an uneven floor, but there was like a gap under my left foot. And at one point, I looked up, and Money and my mother were in the same pose, and they looked the same. And since my mother's spoken, when Money Block spoke, it felt like my legs were going up from under me, and I had to cover my eyes. And when my mother speaks, I can come forward, but I've still got like really weak legs, and I can't open my eyes and look. And at one point, I had to close the door because I could hear the noise of my boiler going.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can see, because of the way my screen's set up, my mother is massive, and just her looking at me is so intense. It's not that I don't want her to look, but it's just, I feel like a spotlight's on me.
Tomek, how is all this landing for you?
Uh, this standing thing, standing on my feet here, that was very common, especially during my childhood. I felt like I'm about to collapse and fall into a massive hole, especially when my dad got home drunk and he was investigating, asking me questions, and I got completely blank, couldn't think, was terrified and scared to death. And like I think the money block, like couldn't. I don't know if it's related to money, but I think I was just terrified by my father's action and presence when he was drunk, or even when he was sober as well. I was just scared to death by him. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Tomek. Yeah, money.
So, as you can probably tell, I've been totally distracted the whole constellation, except when Money Block talked. My dog went away totally weird, and then came back exactly when the mother started talking again. And then constantly like trying to get my attention. And she knows she's not supposed to talk to me when I'm in this chair. This is my like my space. And so she's been with me. Now she's totally gone again. As soon as he mentioned the father and that experience, it was like, she's out of here. I'm out of here. I don't want to be around with that story. That really bothers me. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. Yeah, money block.
When Mother started speaking, I opened my eyes because I was very intrigued by the presence of Mother, but I have very mixed feelings towards her, as if I don't really trust her fully, or as if she is two-faced, has two different sides to her. But then when Money started speaking, I felt a little bit more a small wave of compassion towards mom. And I'm sort of being aware, yeah, this is my mom. This is my mom. What did I just say? Oh my goodness.
Mm.
Am I representing something else? I just said this is my mom.
Yeah, you're representing my smaller me, a part of me that was when I was a child,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or a child of representing a child.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to rename you real quick.
Yeah, I also feel a lot of care and compassion towards you, Tomac, as a child. So I'm glad that you feel comforted by me and to hear my voice. Like I'm happy if I know you don't feel trusting, but I also feel like really open if you're like have questions or something to answer them. Yeah.
Father.
Yeah, so I feel very stuck and kind of frozen. There's some noise.
And you're breaking up too.
Am I breaking up?
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe if you lift your mic, that would help because probably it's rubbing against your top.
Can you hear me now? I'm hearing it. Yeah, so funny because like everybody's moving on the screen for me. It feels really overwhelming, and I just feel I feel completely frozen. When I look over at Mother, I feel really quite annoyed, and I feel like the sense of like control that I feel very put off by. Yeah, I feel quite separate from the rest. I feel separate from Mother. I feel separate from Tomac, the representative. Tomac is a child, Money. I feel very separate from everything.
Mother had said that she would be that she let me just read it, that you would protect Tomac from the father and that you would put yourself between them.
Yeah, I don't like when father's talking. I'm like, can you just go? Like, clearly your internet is not wanting you here too, but that's not personal to you as a human, just to the representative father. Because I feel like you're just like you just said, you're not connected to anyone here. I'm just kind of like, why are you even here? Like, this is not your business anymore. Like, can you please let Tomac go and just like move on with your life? Because I just don't know what you're offering, and I feel a little bit like I don't even want to hear you talk. I'm like, you're upsetting the other representatives, and I just feel like I just don't I just yeah, you feel frustrated at me, but I'm also like, yeah, well, I don't know. I feel the same way. Like, I can look at you. I'm like, yeah, I feel strong and brave around you. I'm like, you've already like showed me your whatever, but I'm like not intimidated by it.
I think I feel really judged in the space. It feels like I belong. I feels like I belong in the space, but I'm not allowed space in this space, if that makes sense. Like when you said that, I feel like, who are you to tell me I don't have a space here? He's also my son. I'm his father. I do have a space. I mean, I do have a role in this dynamic, in this relationship, in these relationships. or in my relationship to Tomek more than anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed Tomek's rep is completely turned around, far away. I am curious to know Tomek's rep, what his connection, if he's able to even look at money at all.
Sorry, Tanya, what happens if I'm really drawn more to Tomek, like Tomek the person rather than the rep? What is that about?
Yeah, you can just name that out loud.
Okay, yeah. It's almost like I feel
I'm really drawn to atomic the person rather than what is that? Check it out.
That is so weird. My Siri just came on and started talking. Oh my goodness.
wow. Yeah, there's a lot of, it feels like a lot of interference because I'm feeling like, okay, I have a place here, but I'm not too sure what that is. Like, as Tomek's father, and I feel very drawn to Tomek in his red shirt. Like, I feel,
What would he want to say to Tomek?
I feel like I'm carrying like a lot of shame around. There's like such a deep love that I have for Tomek.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and that's bringing up a lot of sadness. I felt sadness earlier, and like this, it's almost like we're so similar in many ways. I feel very similar to Tomek, and there's this feeling of like I've passed on. There's definitely a feeling of like passing on generational stuff to him, um, that I feel almost shameful about.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And
Tomek's rep. Yeah.
I'm recognizing Mother almost ridiculing me in this space. I'm not sure. That's yeah. Yeah, there's this strong feeling of almost being ridiculed.
All right. Tomek's,
Hmm.
yeah, so Mother's heart is pounding with anger. Tomek's rep. I wanted to ask you what happens when you look at money.
Say that I found it. I just I've been feeling really like dissociated and wobbly and like had to turn my back and like I have to sit down. And then just that moment when my mother wrote something in the chat about how you'd asked me a question and then the father had taken up so much space. I just felt like this like resigned laughter. They're even bickering in the chat. Like, um, yeah. I'm weary. I feel so weary and tired and exhausted by all of this.
Mm.
Um, like I'm just absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
Quite a long time ago, the word war came up for me.
War. Mm.
Is it anything to do with war?
Mhm.
And you're asking me to look at money, but I'm actually looking at Tomek.
Mm.
I can see money. I quite like their glasses. Um, my dog's breathing down the back of my neck, but she's also having an anxiety attack, so it might be irrelevant to the constellation. But she came up to me when I was far away.
Mm.
Um, I mean, I'm looking at money, but I don't feel connected to. I don't. I'm just so exhausted.
Yeah, and the way you show up on the screen is we can barely even just we just see you from here up.
And also when Tomek as a child came in, a bit of me was like, when I first went back to the back of the room, I felt like a child. So I was a bit confused that I was here as a child and I'm here as a child. That confused me quite a lot. I mean, not for very long because I was so wobbly, but it came up for me. I mean, I could just lie down and go to, well, not go to sleep, but check out.
Mm. Yeah, Tomek as a child.
I was extremely intimidated by Dad and very afraid of him. But when Mother called him out on "You're interrupting Tomek," even as it was his turn to speak, I felt like ha ha ha. And he sort of stopped being this monster and this scary person for me. I'm not intimidated by him anymore. I'm very aware of Tomek and his rep. And when I look at money, it feels very cold and unapproachable, and it's not anything I want to do with.
Mm, 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 mhm. Okay. All right. Any last shares before we stop here? Obviously, just here, there's been some movement. Obviously, Tomek as a child is no longer hiding herself or feeling intimidated by father.
I don't know if this is because my head heard a story Tomek told at the beginning, but I just wonder if Tomek as a child is still the block.
Mm.
Both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I would say especially some the inner child doesn't want anything to do with money. That's an issue because on some level, if money is an issue, then that child is got a bit of the steering wheel when it comes to money at a subconscious level. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's give back the roles for here now. And so Tomek, this is, pointing towards what can be shifted. There was some shift around the father, which is good. And that mother is able to voice her strong opinions. So if, yeah, everyone could release the roles back to Tomek himself. And
Thank you.
yeah, thank you everybody. And go ahead and change your names back to what they are. All right. Okay. Barb, great. Okay, awesome. All right. There's a lot of big energy there. Tomek, how are you doing? Checking in with you.
I'm good. Lots of energy in my heart. It's pretty warm. I wouldn't say hot, but lots of movement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, great. All right, we'll do one more mini constellation. So, Hannah, I saw your name first. All right. Callie, would you be willing to step in as well? You said you'd love to receive. Well, Hannah Rose, I saw Hannah first. Okay. So, Hannah, go ahead and share just briefly what is your desire?
Well, money never stays. It just flies right away, even more than what comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So whoever wants to stand in and represent, great. Callie says she's willing to take a role. Go ahead and look at the people here and choose someone to represent yourself.
Um, Anya to represent me,
Are you choosing
please.
me? You can't choose me. Oh, you said Anya or Tanya?
Yeah, Anya.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So,
Okay.
mm, all right, choose someone to be money.
Money. Um, Jessica, would you please?
Yep.
Sure.
All right, and then choose someone to be the block or the issue, what's standing in the way, the problem. Yeah.
Silver. Thank you.
Okay. And someone to stand in as your mother. Maybe choose someone who hasn't represented yet.
Barb, would you be my mother, please?
I have already gone, but I'd be happy to be your mother. I don't know. Maybe let me see if I tap into that. But yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go ahead since she named you. And raise your hand if you would like to stand in and represent his father. Anyone here? And if Hannah, if it resonates. If not, just choose somebody. Cherry? Cherry is willing to, is that okay, Hannah? Does that
Yeah,
feel?
yeah, sure.
Cherry can be father? And I think we have everything. Yeah. Okay, so everyone else can. Oh, did I rename the wrong person? Thank you. Sorry. Can you go ahead and change your name back? Although maybe that's the way it should be actually. Cherry, I'm going to let you go. That was not an accident for some reason. Okay. All right. So everyone else, go ahead and turn off your cameras. Whoever's not representing. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, sometimes when things that we see as accidents are actually relevant. Yeah, Father.
Couldn't unmute myself. I am burning up with rage. Really at money, actually. I'm taking it fully personally.
Okay.
Actually, I can't even see anything else, just money.
Just money. Rage at money. Okay. Mother.
So when I first came in, I strangely enough felt like I was like doing a hula dance, like kind of with your hands. But I realized as soon as the father talked, like I was doing this, like go away, like move on, like leave me, like I was pushing. It was a movement of pushing that to the right, my right side, push away. And then I like cannot sit still. I'm absolutely like a jitterbug going around all over. And I'm really obsessed with like how I look. Like, oh, I've got stuff all over me and my hair's messy. And I'm very conscious of that and how that feels. And I feel a little scattered, not stupid or anything, but just like I've got so much to think about right now that, you know, I'm trying to focus and I can't stop moving.
Okay.
And when he talks, I don't even care.
All right. Thank you. Hannah's rep. Yeah, Hannah's rep.
So I've been mostly aware of money. And as soon as money appeared, I was like, no, 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 get away. No, no, no. You keep away from me. That's sort of still the energy. You keep away from me. Dad feels very intimidating and kind of stirs up some fear in me. And mother just feels chaotic. But when mother came in, I became aware that the money block is just there and it's just permanently there, standing like a block and not moving. So now I'm really intrigued by money block and by money, and mom's just being chaotic.
What's happening with money block?
So immediately I came in, it's like my knees bent slightly, like my center of gravity lowered, and I'm like it's almost like I'm ready for a fight. My fists are forming, but not very strongly. They're just flexing, like, okay, I don't feel, I feel quite negative, like someone who's just wants to cause a bit of trouble. And I've got a searing headache, like someone is sticking knitting needles through the left side of my head. I'm just like, I don't feel very intelligent. I feel quite brutish, actually. Thug-like. I'm going to come closer to check these people out because most of them kind of annoyed me when they were speaking.
Yeah, money.
So initially, I felt really kind of self-aware, like everyone very self-conscious. Everyone was just kind of paying so much attention to me, so I felt really uncomfortable in my body. And the moment money block spoke, I felt really kind of drawn to it or her, or I feel drawn to her. I feel drawn. I almost want to kind of take sides with money block. I feel very much like we're in the same team. Yeah, I feel like, and I want to hide from everyone's attention. Like I'm feeling quite a lot of anxiety again in in my solar plexus. Um, yeah, not I also just feel like I'm not quite sure why everyone's staring at me.
I just wanted to say Callie had commented that it's interesting that more than once Money said they were drawn to the money block in two of the three constellations. So that is an interesting pattern. Yeah, Father.
I would just like to say that everyone is talking nonsense, and I feel super grandiose that when Money Block spoke and said, "Oh, I'm a bit of a thug," that actually they were talking about me. So I feel really glad that there's two of me out of everyone, and everybody else is just talking nonsense, like irrelevant, utterly irrelevant to the whole show.
Yeah, Hannah's rep.
Dad feels just full of himself. But when money block started, when I sensed movement, the block was no longer block but movement. I sort of found myself wanting to match her and almost, okay, let's have a fight about this. I want to fight this out. I want to finally conquer you. And she kept talking and talking, and then I thought, what is this whole conversation about? I'm ready to fight her. She doesn't have power over me anymore. And since Money Block moved, money doesn't seem to be so intimidating for me anymore. She's like, okay, it's just money. I'm not pushing money away consciously anymore. I kind of feel sorry actually that the money doesn't understand why we're all so unpleasant to her. I think she wants to be here. And yeah, I don't want to push her away anymore. This is all silly and made up in my head, and this block was bigger than I thought. It appeared bigger than it actually was for me, and it's no big deal. And then when it shook like this, I was like, "Huh, I can do this."
Hannah herself, how is this resonating for you?
I'm trying to figure it out mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, I know my father had a big issue with money, and he and my mother fought all the time about money, all the time. And my mother didn't really care if he worked two jobs to get the money or whatever. She didn't care. She just extracted whatever she wanted. She didn't care about anything else. Yeah, so but
Yeah.
I can't really put my hand on the block. What is the block about?
Well, it almost seems like arguing around money. That if you grew up listening to them arguing about money, there's something there to that. That money is something to fight about. Yeah, money.
So, earlier I felt like really kind of in the same team with money, with the money block, and I'm now sensing like I'm actually manipulated by money and by the money block and almost controlled. I feel like the sense of control, like I was almost not aware of that earlier. I felt quite drawn to to money block's energy. And something's shifting for me now where I feel a little bit more aware around the manipulation, um, money. Yeah, just this feeling of being manipulated by the money block, and then as I look at money block, I feel like it's my father, like, and that's what father had said earlier. But I really just get this sense of like I don't exactly know, like being manipulated by my father. I can't tell, but the energies, um, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like I feel like I'm tied up into some manipulative dynamic that feels really toxic.
Yeah, father and then mother.
I feel actually I kind of even forgot it was about money. I just need to feel like a big person.
You have this need to feel like a big person.
That's it. I did money's a handy tool, I guess. I don't know. I can't even make sense of it. All I know is I need to feel like a big man. I'm up for a fight. I'll do whatever it takes. I don't care.
Okay, Callie just messaged that she's feeling like you're in a role. You're drawn to Hannah, and Hannah's rep as well as a father feels like family. Callie, if you can drop in the chat who you think you are. Yeah, I was wondering, grandfather. Yeah, go ahead and let's bring him in. Maybe there's a connection there. It's not worth, I mean, it's worth testing and seeing. Just rename yourself as grandfather. And then mother, go ahead. You were going to share something.
I kind of feel, and not to be rude, but I'm kind of feeling like I was dropped right in the middle of this shit show. Like I don't belong here. I am so much better than this. And I really, really, I mean, I'm going to get my money no matter what. Like, I don't know how it's going to come to me, but I'm the only one. I feel more stable about it. Like everybody's worried about it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm fine because if it's not here, it's going to be someplace else. Like, I just feel like it's drawn to me, but I don't need to worry about it like everybody else is fighting and worried. And even at the cost, it sounds like, even at the cost of my husband, I don't care. Just go make it. So, so I can enjoy it. I don't feel connected to this family very much because I don't feel connected to the chaos that, even though I have my own chaos, to the chaos they have around money, because I don't know. I feel like I'm always going to have it no matter where I am, or some sense of it.
Yeah, Father.
She's just completely knocked me sideways. I am absolutely fascinated by this notion that if money's not here, it's somewhere else. Like, she's just whisked me up by my socks and yanked me into some new awareness. It's absolutely, I'm just mesmerized by that.
Hannah.
Like, it's quietened me from my violent, raging bull kind of attitude. Not violent, but raging bull.
And when you say that it's someplace else, I immediately resonate with it's someone else. Like, if it's not you, it's going to be somebody else. You
I feel
know,
good with
I'm
that
going to
as
get
well.
it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really care. I mean, the rep doesn't care, but as a human, I'm saying I'm sorry because I don't want to sound mean. But the level of caring for this rep right now in this role is nothing. I just know what I want. And I'm just going to do whatever it takes to get it. And I don't understand why it's taking so long. I feel like a little girl having a temper tantrum. Like, I want it now. Why isn't it here now? In fact, I think a lot of these things came younger. I know we don't have time to explore that, but I'm just saying that I'm feeling that a lot of it's also back.
Hannah's rep, you had your hand up.
So when Mother started speaking and said she doesn't care, I had already been aware of how she's just looking away the entire bloody time, not wanting to have any part in this. And now that she said how she just doesn't care, she just wants the money, it made me feel so much compassion for Father and how she's just using him. And I'm also aware that there seems to be some connection between money block, grandfather, and father. I keep thinking there's some sort of line that connects these three for me. And those are the only three that I'm interested in on the screen. Mother is just, she can go find her money. I don't care about her.
Yeah, Father.
Things are shifting so fast. So it hasn't bothered me that Mother's not interested in me and my newfound revelation. But it has altered me, and it's helped me see my daughter for the first time. So I've only just seen you and actually not interested in any of the other stuff. But now I'm like, oh, wow. It's really grounding to see you. It's incredible.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying. So as soon as you saw the daughter, like as soon as the father's like, well, now I noticed the daughter, I'm like, oh my God, I need another necklace. You need to buy me another necklace. Like, I need something like monetary. Like, I need you to look at me and get me something. I need you to notice me and buy me something.
I mean, that would never have occurred to me, but I do have an admiration for you. Clearly, that means nothing to you, but
no, because you don't adore me enough. You would be buying me more things if you adored me. Says the rep.
Talk to Hannah.
I just heard, oh, whose voice was that? Was
It's
that
me,
grandfather?
grandfather.
Okay, sorry, the chat box was covering your face. Okay. Yeah,
It
could
just
you?
said I want to talk to Hannah.
Okay. Hannah herself or her rep?
Whoever feels drawn to talk back to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel both connected to both.
What do you want to say to her?
I want her to tell me what she needs because I feel like I have some wisdom, guidance, oversight. I'm like biting my lip because I'm like I don't want to speak unless anybody's ready to hear what I have to say. So it almost feels like Hannah has to ask me like whatever, but I just want her to know that like I'm around if she needs to talk to me.
Yeah, I'm interested in what you have to say. So you're the grandfather, you're the father of my
Father's
father,
father.
correct?
Yeah.
Father's father, right? Yeah. Yeah. I know that you died young. I know that. And I'm interested in what you have to say, in your wisdom.
Well, like, what do you want to know about me? Like, is there any questions you have for me? Because I feel like I just feel open to answering, but right now I don't know what you need or what you want, and I'm willing to support you, but you got to tell me what you need or what you want or what you're, yeah, I'm here, but if you don't use me as like a resource, then I'm just going to keep watching and be quiet.
How old were you, Hannah, when he died? Were you?
No, he died when my father was 8.
Okay. So you never knew him.
I never knew him, no. I never knew anything about him, by the way, except this. Nothing.
That's it.
I knew nothing. I didn't even know the relationship between them. How was it?
Okay, yeah.
Hannah's rep, what do you want to say?
I'm curious how you connect to the father and the money block. I sense that all three of you have something in common and you play a part in this.
It's true. I feel partially responsible for whatever is happening, but I don't know why, but I do feel like I'm involved. A lot of pain right now in my like center of my body.
Father?
I was super resistant to grandfather talking, but actually, as you started, it's made me notice money. So I'd completely forgotten money, but something about hearing grandfather has shown me money.
Yeah.
And it actually, I feel quite emotional. Like, as if it perhaps represents, yeah, it's tied up with love. Oh, that's my father. That's not my grandfather, that's my father.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am really feeling the sadness of, I don't know, grandfather and money tied up. There's a lot of sadness around it.
Hannah's rep and then money.
It seems to me that it's tied up with manhood as well, and somehow the way father tries to embody manhood towards mother, this is the connection, somehow proving that you're a worthy man or earning love, or it's connected to manhood for me.
I sort of want to say to money, I miss you, but that's really feels strange. to hear that.
I just wanted to share that earlier when Mother was speaking, I didn't feel very connected to her story about wanting what she needed. It was all about this relationship between me and Father and how he had been using me as a manipulative tool. I felt very much in this dynamic of being used as a manipulative tool, and maybe that's that piece about the love that's coming through. When Father speaks now about the sadness, and I feel somewhat of a softening in my heart. A bit more of a connection. To Father. I'm just aware that Mother's completely looking out of the picture and almost seeing the back of her head.
Yeah. Okay. Anything changing for money block? You've been rather still.
Yeah, God, the headache's really bad, especially when the parents are bickering. Oh my God. I, yes, I do feel linked to Father, and I feel close to Money. And when Money said she was felt manipulated by me, that made me feel very powerful and important. But I do feel that I am somehow protecting Hannah's rep from Money or something. I'm actually shielding her. I'm keeping things away from her in order that she's protected. I feel she's quite distanced from me. But that's because I keep the money away, or the father, or whoever. Quite interesting. Yeah. Really just do feel like I can correlate what a lot of the other reps are saying, but I'm still this kind of heavy, brutish, thuggy kind of character, really. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Any last share before we wrap this constellation up here?
Really feel called to say that, Hannah, like, please reach out to me because I am a resource, and I offered twice in this constellation and you don't seem to care. So if you really want to make a connection to these things, then just know that, your grandfather cares about you, and he's there, but you have to ask.
Yeah, Hannah's rep.
I want to thank the money block for having my back because I really don't want to be between whatever's going on with my parents. And if you're shielding me from that, then I'm very grateful to you. I want nothing to do with their energy. Thank you.
I want to say I've been completely transformed from that bullish, raging person, and I feel very softened and connected to Money, and a sadness that I think I feel like I need to acknowledge and be with.
Yeah.
and to say to mother, I see you. Not very much, but a little bit.
Okay. All right. Wonderful work, everybody. Go ahead and let's just release the roles back to Hannah herself. Hannah, and take them back. They belong to you. And yeah, it seems very clear to me that some kind of belief around that if you actually hung onto money, that you would suffer the same fate as your parents as far as the arguing and the manipulation of money. It's like, nope, I just have to let go of it. That's my sense, but that was a parent just not wanting anything to do with that. Okay. That was a lot. That was very powerful. I felt it in my body. If everyone could please turn their cameras back on. And I'll just talk, first of all, does anybody have any questions or comments as far as what has been experienced here? What did you learn? What was interesting? What was impactful? Just open it up to anyone that wants to share. Yeah, Anya.
I've attended constellations before, and they're typically obviously focused on one person and longer. I'm quite impressed how much can happen in 2 hours for multiple people. I somehow thought it must take a lot of time, but there seems, even I as a rep sensed some shifts in here. So I'm really impressed with what can happen in a short amount of time. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Anya. Viba.
At the beginning, you said something about the divine masculine being absent, and every constellation had the father with a really important role, or maybe both parents, but yeah, it struck me to be really significant.
Yeah. Yeah, the masculine and the feminine need to be there. It's like the the feminine has to do with being and flow, but if the masculine's not there, there's nothing to maybe hold the container of it. Yeah, Diana?
Yeah, even hello everyone. Even if I have my camera all off, I have so much here reality with everything that was going on here. And the last one, I literally block out and I sleep, and some memories pop out since I was a kid, and actually how I put, and actually how I didn't realize from where I have this hate towards money. And I even forgot about that memory. And I don't know, a lot of stuff was moving through my body, and I still feel very overwhelmed by the fact that I can bring this thing, and was so much. So thank you so much. I don't know how I will digest from now on, but it's so overwhelming. Literally, I just get up now from the bed, kind of like I could not, but I was aware of everything that was going on in so much your reality with everyone. So thank you for the space. Thank you for the space. Yes, they come out so much.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Diana. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure
Oh,
can resonate in the same way. That's just a certain, different different subtleties of the way money is seen and the relationship with it. I'm sure everybody touched on something that felt relevant to their own life. Anybody else? Janice?
I also resonated a lot, especially with the last constellation. However, what came to me before this constellation is how we always focus, or I always focus on what blocks me from receiving money. But actually, I wanted to raise my hand and also ask. I wanted to see what connects me to money instead of what blocks me to money. So I
Mm.
think for me, this is what I take. Instead of just looking at what blocks me, I want to start looking at what connects me, or which way to go to connect with money.
That's a beautiful insight. Darn, we could have brought that in.
I wanted to ask for that in my constellation.
Wow. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That'll definitely be included moving forward. Whoever decides to join the 5-week container in May. Callie?
It's interesting hearing what Janice said because I was just kind of looking at the similarity between the roles that I took on and today, and how like protector and supporter is like this thing that's coming up. And I think because I am so drawn to be a facilitator, it's hard for me to just observe constellations because I'm like, no, we need this role here now, like call this role in. And when she just said like we need about attraction to money, I'm like, yeah, we're just looking at the problem here, but we're not looking at any of the, like, even with the grandfather, like he was present and he was like, I'm your ancestor, I'm willing to talk to you about this. And there was no interest. It was like, let's just look at the problem, let's just admire the mom, let's just admire the dad, let's just look, stay in the drama triangle, all the fighting. Like lots of the constellations were just taken up by this like kind of distraction from money, and then money kind of fell down to the like was forgot, like I felt was forgotten about half the time. And so it's like how easily our drama, our stress, our all these like things can get in the way of us like connecting to something that's available for us. So that's kind of what's coming through for me right now, is just like let's look for the connection, and like seek out the positive, like the magnet, like the repelling. It's good to have insight about it, but we as humans, we spend so much time admiring the problem, and I don't think it's that helpful. So that's just like, I don't know if I'm still in a role. This has all felt really intense, but yeah, I just want to say, like, if you're looking at your money problems, all you'll see is problems. Like that's very clear to me.
Yeah. Anybody else? No? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take you through a meditation, and it'll be a guided visualization, and we'll be connecting also with the wealthy, successful ancestors in your lineage and connecting with them. So we'll take a few moments here. So just go ahead and relax and close your eyes for a moment. And connect with your breath. And know that all the ancestors are still here with us, actually, and the spirit guides. And just take a moment to scan your own body. And as you're thinking of money, if you feel that there is something that you're carrying that isn't yours, that belongs to money, you can imagine it just right in front of you at the level of your heart, and maybe in the palms, resting in the cups of your hands. Just your relationship with money, whatever is feeling like it doesn't belong. And then just imagine your mother and father standing there in front of you, and then their parents, and each subsequent generation. And just take a moment to notice who's standing there, who is showing up, ready to take back what you've been carrying. And as you're standing here and they're reaching their hands out to take back what doesn't belong to you when it comes to money, is to just go ahead and hand that back to them with love. And seeing them receive that, and seeing them turn around, facing towards the ancestors and the light that's beyond in the distance, and just seeing them hand that back to the light. And now just take a moment to call forth the happy, wealthy ancestors to step forward. And with your palms open, ask them for their support. And perhaps you might even just feel their hands on your shoulder, behind you, supporting you. And just allow that feeling to really come into your body. Just receiving their deep wisdom. And just notice how you feel. Maybe you feel a little happier or a little lighter, maybe excited about what's to come. Just really allow those shifts to take place. Maybe you're receiving images or insights. And really just allow those feelings to anchor into your heart. And now just taking a moment to bow down in gratitude to all the ancestors, your family of origin. Just being thankful for the life that has been given you, to you. And just notice this light that is now with you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. How's everybody feeling with that? That was interesting for me. I will say, I definitely, as soon as the ancestors, the happy healed ancestors came in, there was just images of laughter and joy and quite spontaneous. Feel free to type in the chat if you want to just share how that was, any insights. And yeah, you're welcome, Myrna. Thank you for being here. And by the way, oh, I guess she dropped off. Okay, so I'll just want to let you know that I'll be sending you all the replay. You'll also get information about what's coming up in May. So there's going to be a 5-week, once a week gathering of doing constellations work. And also I feel very inspired to do a book club on Happy Pocket Full of Money. Has anybody read that book? Oh, it is so good. It's such a great book. It talks about the quantum, talks about purpose, the self, thinking and speaking, roadmap to wealth, all this stuff. It's by far the best book I've ever read when it comes to, just really tapping into what is money and how do you create it and what's, to be in right relationship to it. I absolutely love this book. So it's going to also include that. So there'll be the option to, if you sign up for the 5-week course in May, or not course, program, that's included. If you just want to be a part, just want to do the book club, there's that option too. So, yeah, I'm super excited about that. The book club, the way that's going to work is I'll be creating a Telegram group for that. We'll be reading a couple chapters a week, and I'll be posting videos, and we'll be doing exercises and stuff like that in there. So, yeah. And I think part of being in a book club is just like being held accountable of like, okay, you're going to read this book through till the end, I don't know. For me, oftentimes I get inspired to read and then I don't ever finish. So yeah, and and I think that's basically it. Oh, the other thing that I also wanted to share is that being part of the book club also, I mean, I like to be creative, and so being part of that book club, I will be dropping like special opportunities, discounted offers, things like that to work with me one-on-one. Maybe we'll have like pop-up constellations just as they are inspired. And yeah, that's it. Anybody have any questions or any last words?
Tanya, thank you so much for today, firstly.
Yeah.
I really love being in your space, and yeah, I also have worked with Carolyn, so that's
Okay.
really interesting.
Yeah.
My question around the 5-week constellation journey, is it a themed session every week? Will one person get to you know, have the constellation done on them, or how?
Yeah, how's that going to work?
Yeah.
So there's two ways. If one, it'll be if you want to secure a spot where it's like, I definitely want to be able to receive at least one constellation for sure. There's just a slightly higher price point, so that's locked in for sure. There'll be 5 spots for that opportunity. Otherwise, it'll just be kind of sort of lottery style, as far as like we'll just see, you know, what we can cover and who can receive. And yeah, it'll be a couple hours once a week. I don't have times or dates decided yet because May is so far away. But I'll, you know, definitely will be
That's true.
doing my best to, yeah, choose a date and a time that works for everybody. And then there's also going to be, I'll also share with you, I do have like a one-on-one transforming your relationship program that's just a 3-session kind of package deal. So it's to answer your question, like, is it going to be themed? No, it'll just be whatever wants to be worked on as far as when it comes to money.
Okay, thanks. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? So yeah, so just be sure you'll be getting an email from my, not my business email, because I think sometimes that ends up in spam for people. So it'll be coming from New Earth Consciousness at Gmail. And if, yeah, and anyone here is welcome to book a free discovery call with me. I do have a 3-month one-on-one mentorship program if you're interested in that. You can check out my website. So yeah, lots of different opportunities to work together, and but yeah, super excited about this possibility. So thank you everyone for taking the time for being here. You guys were amazing. There was definitely big shifts here in the field. Even though we didn't take each constellation all the way to its end, it definitely was, I definitely felt it. Yeah, so Callie, you'll be getting an email. So that email will contain all the details. It'll have the replay. You'll be able to, and if you have any questions, just, yeah, reach out. You can talk to me on Messenger on Facebook, or yeah, also send me an email. All right. Sound good, everybody? Great. All right. Well, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day and hope to see you all again soon. All right.
Thank you so much, Tanya.
Thank you so much.
Bye for now.
Thank you.